Welcome to Charts Today. My name's David Linton, and today's edition for Monday, the 11th of February, comes to you from London. And the dollar continues its rise. We're seeing it's a little bit flatter the last couple of days, but it is still in a very clear bullish trend on the short-term target. We've not yet activated this upside target on the 60-minute chart, but we are seeing just that more and more bullish area, and we are in this long-term bullish zone much more clearly now. So it is still a case of dollar bullish, euro dollar bearish. So we're seeing the euro falling into bearish territory in the long-term chart, on the medium-term chart, and a clear short-term downtrend as well, a further 3% downside potential. Against the Japanese yen, we're seeing the dollar ticking up this morning, and that's looking stronger as well. So we are just that's normally the place that we see the dollar rise first is against the yen, and that's activated an upside target of 2.5% higher to 112.90. So we are seeing that dollar strength just filtering through. That means sterling is lower against the dollar, and sterling against the euro is fairly flat. Against the Swiss franc, we're lower, and against the Australian dollar, it's just starting to fall away, having had the Australian dollar weaken last week on interest rate outlook there. Bitcoin down a further 1.7%. We did have a jump on Friday, but it's short-lived, so we're still very much bearish in the short and medium term. US markets didn't do so well on Friday either. Saw the S&P 500 index lower. Holding on to the bull trend in the short-term chart but not looking as strong now. It does just have this feeling that this rally that we've seen over the last several weeks might now just be running out of steam, so we need to keep an eye on that. The Russell 2000 just hitting medium-term resistance on the lagging line. Remembering this is my long-term charts, my medium-term, and my short-term. And then if we look at the E-mini, the future for the S&P, that is actually up a third this morning, and the Nasdaq E-mini is up 0.4%. So it does suggest we'll see a little bit of recovery in the US market today. The FTSE 100 index is up just short of 1% this morning, so quite a good turnaround there. We'll look at the individual stocks in a minute. That's on the future, and much the same on the cash. So we're seeing FTSE really just trying to make this medium-term transition to bullish. And we do have upside targets here potentially, but of course it's all eyes on America. If Wall Street recovers, then we'll see that filtering through to Europe. The FTSE 250 is up this morning as well. The DAX is up just shy of 1%, so we are seeing quite a strong recovery there, but still bearish on the medium and short and long-term charts, but we are seeing a bounce this morning, and the CAC 40 actually looking much better on the short-term chart than the DAX, and it's up over 1% this morning. Japan was down 2%, so that's been hit quite hard. That's put us into short-term bearish territory. Hang Seng was up, and the Chinese market up quite dramatically, looking like we might be making a medium-term transition on the cloud chart, but we still do have a lot of downside targets hanging over us for China, so it's hard to get too excited there. The Sensex down just 0.2% in India, still looking pretty good on all three time frames. The Australian market looking stronger on that weaker dollar. It was down overnight, but last week was a good week for the Aussie market. Brent crude sitting below $62 this morning. We're in short-term bearish territory. WTI also in short-term bearish territory. So we are just seeing crude oil coming off. US nat gas sitting at $2.68, just starting to show signs of short-term recovery. Gold falling away on that stronger dollar, so just struggling. It's actually just in short-term bullish territory based on the cloud chart, but we are just struggling to hold on that, and that stronger dollar will have a bit of an impact there. So it'll be interesting to see how we go in the coming days. And silver also just ticking lower there. US 10-year yields sitting at 2.65%, so still bearish there, and German bonds this morning we're seeing bullish on all three time frames. This data coming from Thomson Reuters Icon, or if you're using Metastock Zenith, there's a private user of the same data system, really powerful. Taking a look at the Aussie market, we see here that we've got quite a mix in Asia. Um, the Nasdaq on Friday, looking at the percentages there, we had Electronic Arts up a massive 16% on Friday, so they jumped, not enough to really change the chart, but certainly quite a move there. And if we look at the downside on the Nasdaq, we had quite a few fallers as well, but looking pretty strong. The Aussie market, as we said, was looking better last week. We've got quite a few stocks just turning the corner here. So Esther Health looking better on that medium-term chart. India, the Nifty 50, looking here, we've got Tata Steel. They're up at the top of the leaderboard. They're up 3.4%. So looking a little bit better. Hindustan Petroleum, which has been a weak performer over the last year, showing up 1%. There we see the live prices coming in from Yahoo Finance. Dr. Reddy's Laboratories down 5%, so not looking great there. Mahindra down 4%, and that chart not looking good either. That's it for today. Until tomorrow, happy charting. See you then.